It's funny.
Yeah, uh, yeah. Just so you know, this song is called Feeding the Ducks. Let's go. I'm in the park, walking by. I see some ducks. I'm
That's
about to
funny.
feed these ducks. Got some bread in my hand. I'm about to feed these ducks. Let's go.
I think we're live. Good morning,
Gotta feed those
everybody.
ducks.
Have you seen those memes on Instagram about, I mean, those Gary Busey memes? You know who Gary Busey is, right?
No, maybe I've
You
seen it, but
won't.
I don't remember names. I don't remember names.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. How come I'm so dark like this? What is
I've
this
been s-
darkness?
I've been seeing a lot of memes about the new the new laws that implemented on realtors. I've been seeing
Ah,
memes
okay.
about the buyers. My buddy sent me one earlier. Let me see what that one looked like. Oh, the property brothers did it.
Yeah,
Buyers agents chasing commission now. You hear this, man?
sure. But, I mean, you worked on signing buyers exclusives.
Yeah,
You
of
did,
course.
right?
Of
And
course, I've
no,
done
did
it.
you have, did you any, I mean, once everybody understands the value of your services, do they have any problems?
I don't think so. I mean, everybody walks away happy and satisfied, and they refer
Right.
clients. So
That's
you know,
good. That's good.
but um, but I do think, with that being said, we are going to be kind of honing in on the basics again. It
Yes.
it almost feels like, how you build house out of dominoes, and then somebody knocks it over.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's time to rebuild this again. But
I don't
it's
know.
a
To me, it's a continuum. It's like if you've been applying yourself to doing the basics, which are, and I hope I'm not forgetting anything, lead generation,
Mhm.
right?
What would you say that would be a part of the top five basics, or is that what we're going
Yeah.
over? Five
Lead
basics right
follow
now.
up,
Hmm.
lead nurturing, going back over to your database and making sure that people that you sold to or whatever don't forget you, and basically working on your communications, your presentations, and your objection handlings, because sometimes objection handling is just concerns to your clients that haven't been addressed, or sometimes they haven't fully understand what you're trying to explain to them and the service you're providing. So it's like 5 6 basic skills. Yes, presentation skills would include to me like learning your scripts, whatever it's a LP Mama script, which is like the outline of a conversation, or
Mhm.
a typical Mike Ferry script, or Kevin Ward script, or Ricky Caruth script. Yeah, I mean, like those are the basics. And it's not about creating a flyer, marketing yourself on Facebook, and creating a community page and so on and so forth. None of that.
I mean, it'll probably be more of like the cherry on top, but would that be the biggest focuses? The good thing is we could use AI systems and all that to create that, but
Yeah,
I do feel we're gonna see a lot more people out, maybe door knocking, right?
right.
Uh, if
Those are lead generation skills. Yeah.
yeah,
And
I do.
again, to be careful, do you think you're gonna see more?
If Okay, so here's my thought process right now. As these laws are being implemented, as a buyer's agent, if we're signing up buyers, right, we are now signing or agreeing, or let me just put it this way, we're signing contractual agreements with a buyer at this point.
But we always
I
had
know
exclusive buyer agreements.
know that. I'm not saying no. What I'm saying is that for those who are maybe confused or scared or not understanding it, it's like if you're signing it at that point, I think it would give them the ability, or say, hey, you know what? I can go look for these properties that aren't on the market. Like anybody
But
can find it on
a good
Zillow.
agent, and unfortunately, this is where we fell short as brokers, as managers, or as coaches. We fell short in going back to telling agents this is real estate 101. Maybe we need to listen to, like those older trainers where Real estate is everywhere. You can go, if you're having a contractual agreement with a buyer, you should be not only relying on MLS or whatever you see on the computer. You should go in the trenches and find the product.
Yeah.
How many agents actually do this? Everybody got so lazy.
Social media.
How many people did work on a farm and say, here, this is the area I'm working with. I'm not going to run around all over with buyers and sellers and stuff like that. I'm going to specialize in one area, and I for sure will then know every single house and every single homeowner in that area. Maybe not by heart, maybe not by name, but at least, get to know which house is what. And, obviously, keep track of the activity in the neighborhood, get to meet some neighbors. There is always a mayor of the town that's going to give you a whole bunch of information,
Yeah.
and work a little bit smarter. And unfortunately, yes, mediocre agents will have to go. And this is a very harsh thing to say, is if you're not skilled, you're not going to survive this new area, this new base. It's not even a new market. We used to, when we didn't have MLS, you had to work on the co-broke and call the agent from the newspaper, because that's where the information was, and say, hey, you want to, can we do something, can we work together, you have a commission, is your seller willing to pay me something, whatever. It was the same thing. We're just
Yeah.
going to have to be able to work this way and work on the contingency that maybe sellers are not going to be paying a commission, because I'm not sure you read, we're getting Reese Media and Inman News, right? um, and I've seen those consumer watchdog groups again trying to go after real estate agents and telling sellers they shouldn't be paying commissions to the buyer agent, which is like, I'm like, in this environment, if they only understood, like how tough it is already for the buyers, how expensive it is,
Yeah.
this couple of percent extra that they need to pay the buyer agents, they may not have.
It's I mean, yes. However, if you're smart enough, or I think a lot of agents are doing it anyway, but they're just rolling it into the entire purchase amount. So if you're working with someone,
As
you
a
would then,
concession or in the amount or however they want to slice it. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. But it has to be fully disclosed. And this is what's changing. What agents have been afraid, I don't know why agents have been afraid to clearly disclose how they were compensated. It's always like, I'm afraid somebody's going to say no. Yeah, somebody may say no. But if you're afraid, like, you might be afraid to cross the street because somebody may hit you with a car as well.
yep,
Right? I
yeah,
mean, you can't be afraid of your own shadow. You gotta dive in. You gotta experiment. Yes, some of us will make a. It might be awkward if nobody ever asks for. I'm having a lot of agents saying, "Oh my God, these buyers don't want to pay," but that's you already putting in your head that these buyers don't want to
correct,
pay. Oh my God, the sellers are not gonna want to give us nothing. Or it's you as the listing agent not doing a right job and showing them the advantage of paying something to a buyer broker. Like, even though this buyer broker will be working for the buyer, it's still going to make everybody's life easier.
correct,
And in the last resort, which I'm still fighting for with everybody, the person buying the property is really the one paying. If there is no purchaser, nobody gets paid,
correct,
right?
correct. Seller
How
ain't
big?
paying nobody unless we close on that property.
Exactly. So we need to wait back to September, back to school. Inventory is still very tight. You know that. There are
Yes,
some in some parts of town, anything that is one bedroom, studio, apartments, co-op, condos, those are not moving easy. They're not moving. Nobody wants that. Right? We're having issues with city, those local laws. As you can see, living in an apartment is going to become very expensive in New York, even if you own an apartment. Rents are high, Co-op maintenance are high. You have assessments. You have, whatever, a lot of things that are being slapped into those buildings and they're going to have to abide by. So, again, it is what it is. We're going to have to figure out a way to navigate through those challenges. We don't have enough houses. And then when we have enough houses, then the prices are at a point where we're reaching saturation,
Mm.
right? Rates are not going to go down to the 5%, that's for sure, not by the end of the year.
Wait, I saw somebody shared actually. So there was a rate that was down at I think it was like 5.94 or 5 point. It was like
For Okay, but for who though? For somebody with 840 credit score? Ah,
listen, you know how these mortgage companies
I
advertise.
come on. I mean, for what is it?
Let me see. Let me see. I got an email from Wells Fargo earlier today. Mortgage rates in Queens. Here we go. You ready? Mortgage rates in Queens right now. A conforming 30-year fix. They got you at an interest rate of 5.875.
What
Discounted
is the
point is
and what's the
1 point.
APR? A discount point? Okay, hold on. How
1
many?
point. 1 point.
Okay.
I know. I know.
Okay.
That's how they're
Okay.
selling it. That's how they got to sell it. And
You
then you
got
said the APR.
exactly.
Did you ask about the APR?
Yeah.
APR is 6.233.
Oh, after you pay a point. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
What was the other one? That was a conforming. Oh, and that was the conforming 30-year fix. The FHA 30-year fix. This one gets better. It's 5.750% interest rate with a discount
Okay.
point. Well, it's not even a point, it's a 0.875 discounts points. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. And the APR is 6.732%.
Okay. 6.732. So that's still not under five. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, and it applies for a bracket of buyers, right? It applies for somebody who has credit score over 750. It applies for people that have a certain amount of debt to income ratio.
What do the car dealerships say? Tier one credit, tier one. That's what they look
Uh-huh.
at. That's tier one
Yeah,
credit.
right. So is everybody tier one? You remember when we were watching those Keeping Current Matters, what you call it, those monthly market report? The average consumer has a 620, I mean 680 credit score, 700. Not what we think it is. I mean, it's not. It's like everybody has average
What
credit.
did that fall into? Because
Huh?
I could have sworn I remember years ago. I remember maybe in the early 2000s. I remember hearing about tier one, tier two, and tier three credit in the dealerships. Today, how many tiers are we looking at?
I
I
have
think
no idea.
5 to 7 tiers. These
I
guys
have
are
no idea. But I mean, that people, I mean, with this economy, because we do have to deal with the economy. We know rents are higher, food is higher, utilities higher, insurance is way higher. And people also are living off credit cards and paying credit cards. I've gone to the supermarket. I could tell you, like, out of five people, four are paying with credit cards on their food, not cash. You know,
times are tough.
times are, yes, yes. So for us, yes, we need to, so we're going to have to find that needle in the haystack. We're going to have to go and call every single homeowner. We're going to have to work on our lead generation skills
Mhm.
to find listings. And
Yep.
those that are, working with buyers, they're also going to have to find listings that are suitable for their for
Yeah,
their for the buyers.
you know what I think if it's done correctly and if you're signing these things, you are able to look for properties off market and represent
Yes,
your client. You can negotiate directly with the
yes,
sellers. And the kicker is if you don't find the right property for your client,
yeah,
but the individual does want to sell, guess what? You just got a listing.
exactly. Right. So we need to open up this market a little bit. We need to
Would you say
how
that now would also be the time to connect with some of your
database.
vendors? Not
Oh
just
yeah,
database. I'm saying
that's
vendors to maybe come together and try to generate more business. What would you say?
that should have been the whole time. That's a funnel of lead generation. Your vendors should be one of them. Like if you should get acquainted maybe with not even direct vendors, could be, like divorce attorneys, could be estate attorneys, could be insurance specialists, because those guys know homeowners. They do their own homeowner insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Roofers, contractors, solar people, anything. I mean, anybody you could come across with that have a direct contact with homeowners. Why
Yeah.
not? Your database, your friends. Who do you know? That question of who do you know, is like it should be in your mouth all the time.
Yeah. It's true. Should be a conversation.
And we don't do it. We wanted to do so much freaking social media and passive. I'm seeing those stuff they want you to pay on Instagram, like passive lead generation. This blows my mind. What? Passive lead generation. I'm on the beach. I'm waiting for things to come. My mouth is open. It's just gonna come in. It's just like told tales. Like I don't know, fantasy, something.
It's a new day and age that we live in. You know.
So
Um,
yes, I'm not saying no to technology. I'm not saying no to social media. It's to enhance those efforts that you're doing
Correct.
in actually getting business done.
To make
You
things
know?
to simplify your efforts, to simplify. But we've gotten to the point where we're paying for convenience. If it's convenient for someone else to call those leads for me, might want to
Yeah,
pay
but
it.
you see what I'm saying? Like you're gonna sure. I don't
But
mind. You can
I'm
have a
saying
cold
that's what
caller,
happens. I'm not saying
and
I'm
in
doing it. I'm just saying that's the
but
day
not
and age.
everybody has, unless you have the funds, unless you have $5,000 a month to spend on heavy marketing, whether it's through the Zillow platform or whichever platform, and you're having an inside salesperson that is licensed and going to make calls for you. Most of us have to do it ourselves.
Yeah,
Even if you're part of a team, the team leader has to assign tasks to different people on the team. And most of the time, the team leader is the rainmaker, right?
correct.
So most of us is we have to. It's a contact sport. We have to be dealing with the public, right? We have to
Yeah,
talk to them. Oh, I'm not a people person.
it's gonna be tough.
Then get
But
out.
develop the skills for it. I mean, you know, I think it's something that we can all learn as we go along, right? If you're not a people
Yeah.
person, learn how to be one.
So
There's
that's what
books.
I'm gonna, I'm repeating back to the basics. So your lead generation skills, your presentation skills, right? Your objection handling, your communication, your basically your follow up skills, because we also fall short on following up. And when we sometimes following up, we want to nurture clients, but we're gonna let our CRM nurture. Wow. You're gonna let a machine nurture your people. Nurture, which is a human word, nurturing, right?
Yeah,
Why would you want to have a machine sending some random text and emails, and then you're wondering, oh my god, they've been on the CRM for 3 years and they listed with Shlomo down the street.
damn you, Shlomo.
I know. So there are no secrets. There is nothing new. We just gotta do it. It's not gonna. It
Yeah,
might not feel comfortable for some of us, but we're gonna have to do it. You know.
turn
And
it
you can't
into a habit.
expect to be fed the leads. I need to receive leads. Or you give, like I'm working with some buyers. I'm giving them some agents. I'm giving them leads that come to me. They're not good leads. No, maybe you're not a good agent. And if when did you call back the lead after I give it to you? 2 days later. Oh, okay. Then you wonder why the person doesn't want to talk to you. Like if a buyer has, obviously, if somebody is giving you your phone number, their full name, phone number, and email, It's for a
Hmm.
reason.
Correct.
Grab that lead while it's hot,
Yeah.
right? In
Correct.
like random internet lead with just an email, okay, I get it. But if you're getting the full information, there is already an interest. You know,
Hmm.
it's for you as a professional to figure out at what stage of the purchase or sales of their home that consumer is at.
Yeah.
That's really your job. And you're
Figure
gonna
that part
have
out.
to be really good at asking questions.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Right?
It's true. Yeah, that's what it
What's,
breaks down
what's
to.
your take on that? I mean, to me, it's
I
like,
I agree with you. Like, look, look, for example, right? We put listings out on Marketplace. I've gotten messages through Marketplace. This is now social media, right? But I
right.
feel like the people that come through there, I don't want to say window shoppers because I feel like that's kind of like a bad thing or whatnot. But these are folks that are entertaining the idea of purchasing at some point,
Exactly.
right? They're entertained. They may be skeptical. They may not
Or they may
trust
not
you
even
off the
know how
bat.
to they may not even know how to start. If
Exactly.
I'm going myself, if I'm going window shopping, let's use the action of actually going shopping. Let's use me, that 6 foot tall woman who's in a general store with clothing made in China. We already know we're gonna have an issue. So where do I start? That's a lot of the time my issue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go window shopping. I'm going to go to some stores with I think what is my budget. I don't want to go super
Hmm.
cheap. You're not going to go see me in those teeny bopper stores, with those. Obviously, I'm a close to 60-year-old woman. I know my limits. I know what I can afford. I
Forever
know
27. I get it. I get it.
Forever 21. I don't know. Sometimes, yes. But in general, no. And so knowing who I am, like the physical limitations that I have, I'm going to go into a store. I'm still going to browse. I might look at everything and then I'm going to have a salesperson that's going to come in and tell me, "May I help you?" What is going to be my first response? No, thank you very much. I am just looking. I am just browsing. But in the back of my head, I am looking for something. I may not know
Correct.
what. I may not know what. I for sure know what I don't want. That's what I always tell my agents. I know what I don't want, but I don't know exactly what I want.
Hmm.
So if I find like a salesperson that's going to give me a little bit of value, and I found a couple of them in this little boutique in Long Beach when I was actually next to a sandwich shop where I was buying sandwiches to my kids on a beach day, right? As we're waiting for the freaking sandwiches to be made because it was a long line, there is this little shop next door of this lady that is a going to India herself, working with artisans that are basically hand block printing, fabric
Hmm.
and stuff. Has had dresses that had like sleeves that were long enough for me. I'm like, oh, and then she's showing me the craftsmanship. She's showing me the this, the that. She's showing me
That was it.
the tailoring of the dress with the yoke that has a slimming effect. All this,
She was reeling you in, girl. She was reeling you in.
I'm like, I love it. She made me feel good. That experience was amazing.
Yeah.
And then I bought from her. That was not the cheapest dress. Was not the most expensive, but it wasn't the cheapest. But and she was so interesting. She even told me, you know what? It's gonna be. I'm gonna go back to India and I'm gonna get those quilts for the for your beds and stuff. I Those are my
Wow.
best seller for the summer. I can sell some for about $200 $300 for the whole bed set. Okay, not cheap, but you're like, wow, if it's handmade, if she's working with the artisan themselves, why not?
Wow. Look
You
at that.
know?
She built
And
a
I'm like,
story behind the product.
exactly.
There it is.
So there it is. It's like, and I did appreciate the not only the salesmanship, but she showed her value. She showed what she could do for me. She told me when she would have like, okay, it was end of the season. She showed me different stuff that could actually fit me. She told me like This is, even though the material comes from India, this is like US made. The sizing is basically for taller people and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, 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 yes, please come. Bring me more. Bring me more. I want to hear.
Mm,
And
mm.
ultimately I was just looking. I was looking for something, that's for sure. Because I do a lot of looking.
And she found it for you.
Yeah. Right?
I feel like sometimes we shy away from when you hear the question or when the question pops up, right? Like you walk into a store, hey, how can I help you? And the person say, oh no, I'm just looking.
But she
Okay,
was so smart. She let me look.
yeah.
And then she dripped in. I looked at something and it had like that nice, it has pink color, and I was like, I really don't like fuchsia. I hate fuchsia. I hate that color pink. It's too, to me it's too loud. I don't like that hot pink
And
thing.
she was probably like, well, what colors are you looking for?
No, she said, you know what? I have this mustard yellow. It would be amazing on your skin tone. Okay.
Oh,
All right. So here we go. I want some colors. I don't want to look drab. I don't want to go. I want to shy away from the grays, and the dark, because black looks really harsh as you're getting older. I don't know if you guys, well, you wouldn't know that anyway. So you want to have some colors that are complementary as your skin fades as you're aging. All those concerns. And this lady is around my age, and she started the business 7, 8 years ago. So you see, like,
wow.
I'm like, wow, this is in a non-salesy type of way by just bringing out the value. And I was like, "Damn, this is great. If I wish real estate salespeople could just grab that same thing and understand and their value proposition. This is what this lady was working at. She knew her stuff. She
Mm.
knew everything. Of course, that's her store, so she knows her product. She did the research because she's going out there to get artisans and stuff like that. She's part of the process in dressmaking, right? And then she sells it because she's going to understand, as a woman, like, you can have, like, she's going to understand her customer,
Yeah,
and she's answering to, even if it's nichey, you're like, okay, somebody is very into American made, why not? And I am more into American made than, like, because if it's the mass, that, what do you call that, the big fast fashion, that doesn't
okay.
work for me. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And at a point in life, I don't buy a dress every season. I don't buy something to just wear every season. I'm a consumer that's going to keep stuff for like 10, 15 years. And I want it. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not ashamed to say it. That's it. you
Listen,
know
I have stuff in my closet that I am impressed that still fit me. My clothes went backwards. I used to buy larger clothes, and then as I got older, my clothes got smaller. So now the clothes just fits me still. I
That's
use it for other
amazing.
stuff.
I can't say that, but it's amazing for
And
myself, but it's amazing.
and clothes. I feel like the clothes back then was made much better than the clothes today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's the other
Yeah.
thing. So,
Yeah.
but you said it right. Know your product, know your clients, know your customers, right? You got to be in the trenches, you got to be going through it. So those are all the basic standards, or not even standards. Those are the basics to get the ball rolling. And I feel like that's also us kind of sharpening our tools, right? If we stick to the basics, we're continuing to sharpen our tools, and we would continue to, clearly life is an up and down roller coaster, but at least we would have more stable high times, and it wouldn't be a crazy inflection or drop if we just stay consistent with the basics.
Right. And, again, it's the same thing. Like, no, and it's back to, we salespeople. We're not marketing people. We're not, what you call that, entrepreneur. I love those big words, entrepreneur, this and that, investor, investing into, okay. A lot of us have, the only investment you have is like maybe your own spot, and that's, it's like, okay, it's not my own spot. I just live in there. Maybe a vacation home. Ooh, oopla. Like, so few of us are just, and we're not aiming at being investors and landlords and stuff like that. So let's be real for 1 second. We're not recruiters. We're not, you understand? We salespeople. And there is no shame in that game.
Nope.
That's
Not
that's it.
everybody could do sales.
Exactly.
So We're unique specimens.
Yes, and that's what I have to say. That's it.
All right. I like
That's
it.
it. Yeah.
I
All
think
right.
that it was helpful.
I hope so.
Um
I hope so. I mean, it's like I think we need to have a different mindset and just go back
yeah.
to what value are we bringing? What are we there for? What's our role in this society? In what we're doing as real estate salespeople?
Yeah. And I
How can
think
we do it?
if we're getting scared, it's because we fear what we don't know. So if you're scared of the process, then what's going to happen
Yeah,
is we need to sharpen our tools. We need to kind of hucker down. Is it hucker down or buckle down?
hunker down,
Hunker down. I don't
hunker
know who
down.
created that,
I don't.
but we need a hunker down.
I know speak English, but okay.
Got to say it with a southern accent. We need a
I don't
hunker
know. I don't even.
down.
No. I'm not even trying that.
No. Well, like I said, I'm from far south.
Far south,
I'm from
like
far south.
way far, like on the other side of the another
Like
hemisphere.
crossing the oceans and all that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm on the other. Yeah, I'm
other
on
side,
someplace else
you're
too.
on
The
the
other side.
other
On the
other
other side.
hemisphere. We're all a bunch of hemispheres from different places.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is our weekly rant, real estate
No,
rant. It's not a rant. It's not 2 cents. That's what I just put on our
yeah,
Instagram. I don't know if you saw the
I
story.
did
This
see
is
it. I
our
shared
two
it.
cents in what's up in the our real estate world. And I know it's confusing right now, and we got to go through the changes. And no matter what, you're gonna have to accept it because that's gonna be our new reality. And just, let's go with
Yeah.
the flow. Let's do the best we can.
Listen, at least now we don't have to worry so much about so and so going to purchase a property without you and then all this craziness. Nobody signed anything. Forget it. Now everybody has to sign everything. Now you have it documented. Now you're even better protected.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's it.
let's move forward. Let's move forward. Let's use
Exactly.
it to our advantage.
Yes, sir. All right.
Hey, I'm
That's
going to
it. Put the
go
dogs back. Okay,
and
I'm done.
walk. I'm gonna go for a walk and I'm gonna pass this park. There's some ducks on the side. I'm gonna feed them.
Oh yeah, in Valley Stream in
I'm
that
gonna
little
feed
park
them.
of yours is
Yeah.
lovely.
Hedges
All
State
right.
Park. Every time I walk by, I see some ducks on the left hand side. I'm like, hey.
All right, Ed. I guess you have open houses. It's a beautiful weekend, right? So
Well,
do we.
so we're going under negotiations with our properties. We just locked in one, so I don't have to be in East Elmhurst anymore
Okay.
to see my
Okay.
homie. I know my
All right.
homie loves seeing me out there,
All
but
right.
um, we're locking in some deals. But we have some buyers that we're taking out.
Good.
I'm gonna check out these buyers,
All
but
right.
it's gonna be a busy day.
Yeah. We have a few open houses too. I think I'm doing one open house, but yeah.
Nice.
Otherwise, I have several listings. I have open houses this weekend. Anyway, enjoy your beautiful the rest of your summer, right? And until next time, everybody.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
All right. That's it.
Let's
Cut it
go
off.
feed
I'm
these
gonna end
ducks.
that show. All right. That's it. Done.
End the show before we feed these ducks in the pot.